guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and I hope you stick around and subscribe because that would be great. This is already going off to a bad start. Okay, guys. So today we're going to be talking about how I edit my Instagram photos because this has been highly requested. I get so many DMs on Instagram asking how I do like my editing style and how I couldn't get these filters. So I'm just going to be talking about that today and how to get that same style both on Lightroom and VSCO. So let's just get started. So the first app that I use is VSCO. So I'm just going to pull that up and I'm going to choose a random picture. Let me just choose I'm just going to choose this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to increase the exposure because most fashion bloggers and beauty gurus usually increase their exposure on their pictures no matter what. So I'm just going to increase that a little bit, not too much because I don't want to look crazy. Ooh. And then what I'm going to do is after I increase exposure, I'm going to add the filter. And so I'm either going to add C1 or C6. Those are my go-to filters, but sometimes C5, C7, C8, blah, blah, blah. Any of the C's really work. So for this one, I think I'm going to stick with C6. So what I'm going to do is just decrease it a little bit because you don't want it to be at the max unless it looks good. But I'm going to decrease it a little bit. So I'm going to put it at about, let's do a 7. And then what I'm going to do is go to white balance. And then the only thing I'm going to do here is just either decrease the temperature or increase. Most fashion bloggers, if you kind of want that same tone that they have, increase their temperature. So I'm going to make it a little bit warmer and then they decrease the tint. So I'm going to decrease it just so you can bring out more of the warmth of the picture. So I'm going to decrease it a little bit. And then what I do is I go back to the main screen, go to exposure, and then increase or decrease it based on how the filter looks with it. So for this one, I'm going to just increase a little bit. And then there are other parts to VSCO, so there's like contrast, so maybe I'll like play around with that. There's sharpen, which I don't use at all because it just doesn't look good in my opinion. Clarity, I don't use it. Saturation, I'll sometimes use it. For this picture I won't just because it's pretty vibrant already, so I'm going to kind of decrease it a little bit. Tone, tone really brings out like the like backgrounds and stuff like that. So I'm gonna like increase the highlights a little bit and then probably just keep the shadows at 0 because you don't want those kind of like background tones to come out. White balance, we already talked about that, but that is something that I use all the time. Skin tone really brings out like the warmth or the tint. So like if you go like all the way to the right, it really brings out the like warmth of it, but if you go to the left, it brings out the pink tones. So I'm going to kind of increase the warmth a little bit. And then grain. A lot of fashion bloggers and YouTubers use grain on their pictures, which I'm not really like a huge fan of, but I'm just going to use a little bit grain. And then after that, I'll just go back to exposure and then see how well it fits with that. So increase or decrease. So for this one, increase it just a little bit. So that's pretty much kind of how I edited that picture, kind of how a fashion blogger would or how I would for my Instagram, because I tend to be on the more brighter side of Instagram and I like the colorful aspects of a picture. So that's why all my pictures are really colorful. So that's how I edit my pictures. So that's how I edit them on VSCO. If you want to see more of my pictures, follow me at Kamudi with 2 eyes. So next, the other app that I have for editing pictures is Lightroom. So what I'm going to do is first insert a picture. So let me just pick a random picture here. I'm just going to pick, oop, that one's already been edited. I'm just going to pick, this one. So first you just add that to your album, and then I have a folder for Instagram presets and I have the Aspen Ovar presets, so those are really what I use for my pictures. So I'm either going to use a summer, home, color, blogger, or outdoor, and the one that I use the most is blogger. So I'm just going to go copy those settings and then go back to the folder with the picture, and then what I'm going to do is just paste. And then as you can see, it really brightened up the picture and really added more pink tones and kind of made it really pretty. So after this, I'm just going to kind of adjust it to fit my liking. So decrease exposure a little bit, a little more saturation, decrease the grain, and then color, decrease temperature a little bit, increase tint a little bit. So that's kind of how I edited based on her presets, but I can show you guys how to do it and kind of how to get the same look, so without buying the presets, because they do cost money. So this is with her preset for this picture, and this is without her preset. And as you can see, there is a difference, but at the same time, you really still get that same vibe of like the bright fashion blogger-esque thing. So what I'm gonna do is, again, insert another picture here. So I'm just gonna do this derpy ass picture. And so what I'm gonna do is first increase exposure. And then you wanna decrease contrast. For highlights, they really like a lot of highlights, so just increase that thing, increase it. For whites, you wanna keep it on the low end, and then for the blacks, you wanna keep it on the high end. And so next, I'm gonna go into color. I'm gonna increase the temperature. And then I'm going to decrease the tint a little, increase saturation. Oh, this looks great. And I'm going to go back, increase exposure, and kind of adjust it. And then what you want to do after you kind of get the base of your picture is you want to save that. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to go back to Visco, where previously was, and then I'm just gonna insert that, and then I'm just gonna add whatever filter I want to that. So I'm gonna add again, I would recommend the C's. Otherwise, if you kind of want that more beauty guru thing, I would go with HB1 or HB2. So let's just do that. So I'm gonna add a little bit of HB1, decrease exposure a little bit, and then go back and add teeny, oh no, we're not doing that, we're not. C's. And then we're gonna go back to filters and then add HB1. So that was kind of how I edited as a beauty guru with both Lightroom and Visco. I know it wasn't perfect, but it changes for each picture. So just overall, just to keep in mind, I would just make your pictures more brighter, more colorful, and kind of add more of the pinkish tones and warmth into it, because that's what really makes a beauty guru's Instagram different, and like different from anyone else's. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, so thank you for watching this. See ya.